adult, would it bother you as a grown-ass adult, yeah? If your parents didn't talk to each other, would it bother you?
No.
Like if they couldn't stand to be in the same room, would it bother you?
It didn't bother me personally, but it wasn't like they couldn't stand each other. They could be in the same space, and sometimes, and it was very sometimes, my mum would maybe decide, I'm not talking to him. Or somebody would, like at my wedding, the photographer was like, oh, get closer to your wife. And then my mum was like, that's not my husband. And like moved. So my dad was leaning on the chair and she kind of moved. And she was like, that's close enough. And posed for the picture. So it's like things like that, but that would make me laugh.
Yeah.
Like really, it was just like, oh, mum.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could be in the same they could be in the same place. And my dad always wanted to be in my mum's bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like my mum and dad didn't see each other for probably about, I want to say about 20 odd years or something like that. Yeah, it was about 20 odd years, I think. And then when they did see each other, it was fine. My mum was just winding him up. She was just like, where's my child money, my child support? Yeah. Where's my child support? But what was exceptionally funny is that whenever my mum and my stepmom are together and my dad's there, they just both gun him. They're just like, where's our money? But I didn't ever have that growing up, the picture of them two together with me. I didn't have that until I was an adult. Okay. Did I not? I never had a picture with them, other than like my christening.
I was going to say baby pictures.
Yeah, that's it. Other than that, I didn't have any pictures with them together.
I don't have much pictures either, actually. I didn't get my baby pictures until I was like 17 because they were hidden from me. So annoying. But yeah, my mum and dad, I don't think they spoke, you know, for most of my life, for most of my actual life. Like, I think, I won't go into too much detail, but my mum had to leave the country quite quickly. Okay. Quite quickly. When I was probably about 2 or something around that age. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And then my dad never spoke to her again. Like
after she left.
Yeah, like literally till his dying day did not speak to her. He did tell me though the day before he died, he did said, "Oh, you're gonna go meet her." Do you know what I mean? Which I did after maybe a year after he died, kind of thing.
So when your dad was sick, then he spoke to your mum? No. So he never spoke to her again?
He never spoke to her again.
Do you think he was saying that to you as a way of letting you know that it's okay?
Maybe. That's an interesting... Maybe. Okay. Maybe. There's probably too long to go into now. But there's just like there was just a lot of mystery surrounding it. And that day he said a couple of things. He said that I was going to meet a man that was going to buy me a car. Still waiting.
It's happening, man.
You know what I mean?
He had the insight. It's going to happen. It's time
to buy me a whole car, you think?
And more.
We'll see. But yeah, and he said that, and yeah, like they never spoke. And I think like, I don't know, I think he was just really pissed off with her because she had her own mind and she wanted to do what she wanted to do. But you know, that trait is very prevalent in all of his children, that we could just cut you off in a second. We'll never think of you again.
Yeah, my mum, no, she's not having it. Do not call her Mrs. Jamphy. She'll punch you verbally. And I think I remember meeting friends like in my middle school, and they're like, "Hi, Miss Jamphy," or "Mrs. Jamphy," and she was like, "I am not. Call me Auntie Amo." Anyway, if you go into it, do not associate her. It was very much, that's how I grew up. So that stereotype of when they're like, yeah, the baby mothers that are bitter and da-da-da. She wasn't a bitter baby mother, but she was a hurt woman trying to raise 2 kids without the help of this wayward man. So but it was very prevalent in the home that he was a bad dad and he wasn't helpful. So I kind of grew up under the spectre of that. What's hilarious is one time, I can't remember when in my life this happened, but there were pictures, we talk about pictures of them together. My mum had a picture on the wall and it's like, say it was a picture's that big, it's her on this side. And what she's done, she's cut it off. But literally my dad's lapel, because the 70s, She's literally gone, not one bit. of that man could be in the picture. And she's like, my mum thinks she's cute, right? She's cute, but she thinks she's nice. So she's like, yeah, I like myself so much in this picture. It's going up, but you're going to have the zigzag of the lapel out of it. So yeah, I mean, I think, again, raising a child by myself from most of her life, I very much countered that. I didn't want her to feel the animosity between her and her father as she was growing up. So I made it a point not to speak badly on him. I said, when you get to a certain age, you will figure out the relationship you want to have with your dad when it's time, and you can make your own decisions and figure that out. And you know, they are very close now. They've had their bits and bobs getting to know each other and reconnecting. But yeah, they get on now. But I was very much like, I'm not going to put that burden. But I still do have the thing where I think she's got a picture of me and him holding her. It's a very awkward picture because I'm awkward as hell. I'm just like looking nervous. So I wouldn't mind her having
Which is a baby.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind her having a picture of us just as cool. We're cool. We're really cool now.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind us having a picture for her sake.
Yeah, my mum never ever said anything negative about my dad. It was very much, you're gonna learn for yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
they know, innit?
Yeah. I was
You'll
quite
figure it out.
Absolutely, and I did. He's a lovely man. He just was a shit dad to me. Like my brother, he was really brilliant with, but like one of my brothers, he was really brilliant with, but he was just a shit dad to me. But I've just learned that, you know, man is man, innit? And he was just a guy trying to do a thing, you know, young out there, didn't really understand commitment. Learned that much later.
Have you ever got the chance to see your parents in the same room? Do you have that pang of like, oh, have you ever had that feeling?
No. Just makes me laugh.
I can't imagine it. I really can't. Yeah. I can't even imagine it, to be honest. And like, I can't lie. Although my stepmom was not my favorite, my dad did love her. Okay. He loved her deeply, and I saw that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, I can't imagine. I just can't imagine it.
So you still got to see that. I think those are. When people say like they would love to have that moment, I really do feel for them, because I am like, you never know. Even if they did reconnect and they were in the same space together, you don't know what that energy is actually like. Yeah. Because I had that and really wish that they would have just got divorced years before.
Okay.
Because it's not, when it's not a good environment, it's not a good environment for everybody. I would think I'd be insane to wish two people that genuinely do not love each other to stay together for the fact that I would have two parents in the home.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary, really. You really do need one solid parent at home, and then you can have connections with the other one.
And then to have good for your parents to have good relationships if possible. Yeah. Like I think me and my daughter's dad, we've got a really great relationship. We're so much better as friends. Yeah. So much better as friends. Even when people see us, they're like, because we're brethren, we were friends before, we're friends now. And I like it for Egypt as well. I like her being able to see that we get on. Yeah. And I do make a point when we're around for us to do a picture together, because I know that that's nice for her. She's going to have pictures of us, isn't it? Like, so
that's on my TikTok.
Yeah.
And I like the idea. I like when sometimes her dad will call her and then he'll like, oh, let me talk to your mum. So we'll have like a normal conversation. And to get to that point, it's been a rocky road for us. To get to that point, I'm happy for her. And I'm glad for that.
The whole reason why I was asking, because on a podcast, I think her name is Imrel Morgan, she was talking about the fact that her parents haven't been in the same room since they were 5. And it just, since she was 5, and it just made me think about my experiences.
Yeah. And it's interesting. My mum did do a moment of kindness. So I have a brother who can't live unassisted. He doesn't live in London. And so they bring him down every so often. And my dad, after he had his stroke, he's incapacitated. So she was like, okay, all right. When they bring my brother down, if he wanted to bring him over to hers, she was like, they can do it. And I was like, are you sure? She goes, yes. So she lent into her Christian faith to do an act of kindness, a random act of kindness. But yeah, it is what it is.
Is that likely to happen?
I'm not sure now because he's now in a home, so I don't know how that will happen.
So your brother would have to go there.
I don't think that can happen either. It's techie. Can't happen. It won't happen, I don't think. But there was the gesture and the thought.
the thing is, this is the thing. I'm the product of a man that was so scornful that he just did not allow any sort of acts of kindness in that way. It's just really dawned on me. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was not on it. And it was so much so because I met my mum the first time when I was like 19. And I flew to Nigeria to meet her. And that was like an adventure within itself.
Yeah.
Of
I
course.
was obsessed with Sex and the City. So it was like and we did record it as well. It's so funny. But anyway, went there. It was a culture shock. I was just like, what's going on?
And your first time there as well?
First time there.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a lot of firsts.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
meeting my mum. First
Yeah.
time meeting my brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
I have 6
lot.
family members on that side. There's 6 siblings on that side. So yeah, it was a lot. It was actually a lot. But I'll never know exactly what went down. Do you know what I mean? To warrant those circumstances where you would never speak to this woman again. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's, yeah, I can't lie. It's plagued my life a little bit.
It's those secrets that I believe that parents should have their secrets from I don't want to call it secrets in that way, but have their personal stuff. But then there's an element of where you really want to know what shapes you, what motivates them, what, you know, I really want to know. Now my dad is in a home after having a stroke and he's not the guy that I know him to be. I'm sitting in a bit of anger. So now I really want to be like, why weren't you able to be that dad? Because I think I've got that resentment and it's happened now. Before I would always see my dad when he passes round, whatever, I'd always give him grace. But now in this stage, and it's like when he probably needs me the most is when I'm
That
literally.
might be why though.
But no, I get it, and I think I know there's stuff that I'm doing. It's just now in this moment, I think my anger's kicked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I think if you can work through that, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like, because my dad passed when I was 17, and I didn't know who he was then, not really. He was my hero. Do you know what I mean? And then to grow up in that around that time and then realize, oh, you're not the guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And actually, you done this horrible act to this woman. Do you know what I mean? And deprived her from seeing her child. That's insane. Do you know what I mean?
Relationship.
Yeah, exactly. And that anger is displaced. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't do, because he's literally not here. So there's nothing I can do about it. Do you know what I mean?
My dad's here, but he's now not cognizant. So he's got dementia, I think, or the strokes affected him. So now I think that's also pissing me off because I can't even really have the conversation with you.
I had a conversation with my dad. I've had a conversation with my mum too. But I had a conversation with my dad. So I didn't see my dad from the age of about 9 until I was 19. I didn't see my dad. And then when I did see him, I was just open and honest and was like, so what happened to you? Do you know what happened to me? This is as a result of you not being around. This has been my life. This is where I'm at. I asked him all those questions because I just had to get it off my chest.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Did
that
you get the answers?
No.
Yeah, it's that.
Because he gave me answers, but not necessarily satisfied.
It's not
They didn't satisfy me.
The TV version.
Yeah, it wasn't like the TV version. It was literally that's why I said you have to realize at some stage that your parents are just people, innit? They don't. You don't. Parenting doesn't come with a
This
with
is
a
the
book.
thing. Even when I met my mum, it was nice because we look alike. Do you know what I mean? People tell me that I was similar to her at that age or whatever kind of thing. They say that and everything. But at the same time, I'm just
Yeah.
you're not really giving me reasons. You're not really breaking it down. And I think because the cultural differences, do you know what I mean? As much as I am Nigerian, I'm not a Nigerian. I'm born and raised. Do you know what I mean? It's different. So it's just at one point, I think my uncle had to explain to her that how she was coming across was not the Western way. She wasn't explaining anything. She was just kind of saying, "Oh, I'm here now." What do you mean? You've literally been missing
for all of these years.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We thought she was dead. We didn't know that she existed. And then I remember even having this photo of this man. My dad. this woman with my dad, and I treasured this photo thinking that was my mum. It wasn't my mother.
Did your dad know that you had this photo?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I had it.
But
and I thought
you
it was
weren't
my mum.
you
made
thought
privy
that's
to who
your
it
mum.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mother, man.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
So
That's
now you
it's-
have seen a picture of your mum and your dad together when you was a baby?
Yeah, good, because my mum, when I went to visit her, she
showed you.
Yeah,
She had
do you know what I
pictures.
mean? Yeah.
Okay.
But my dad.
Wowzers.
I mean, family.
That's so unfortunate, you know, because even in the whole scape of it that you lost your dad so young anyway, and then you have this whole part of your life with your mother that she wasn't there, and really your dad is the only one that can be like, this is why.
Exactly.
I made these I made these decisions and either explain it as a mistake in hindsight because he could have got there and an apology. Only he can do that.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Like
Unresolved.
when we went there and I see my uncles, because my dad was a very well respected man in our community. Like, do you know what I mean? And like my uncles, my mum was pointing out that I've spoken to this uncle and I've given him a letter and they haven't given it to your dad. Like she was basically proving to me it wasn't me. Like I was doing everything I could. Like, do you know what I mean? And like my uncles are like, well, what do you want me to do? I can't defy your dad. Like it's
Cultural setups.
annoying, man. It's annoying.
Oh, that is a lot.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Sorry, little trauma dump there.
Welcome to Your Aunties Could Never. Your favourite aunties on the internet. I'm Auntie AK and I'm here with...
I'm Farrah, your resident Caribbean queen.
I'm Nana, aka the Black Fairy, aka Dark and Lovely.
And I'm all things sugar and Shxts Sade. Hey.
Hey. Brah.
Guys, you know what you need to do. You got to.
But the like button now, please do it right now.
Where's the song?
Not singing.
What?
Oh.
Someone else.
Oh. Dun dun dun.
fancy
The
singing.
sky is falling in.
Seriously.
And
We wanted song.
what
She
else do
wanted
they
none.
need to do?
Oh.
What else do they need to do?
I don't know.
Sign up to the membership because it costs $1.99.
No, I can say that bit, but I don't say that whole bit that you just
my
said.
goodness.
You threw me off. I just say $1.99. Cheaper than a bag of chips.
And
Right, darling.
when you're leaving your comments and your stars and your reviews, what do we expect?
5 stars and 5 stars only.
And that's it, bruv. And sis, there's it.
There's it.
There's it. Guys, as always, we're your favourite aunties on the internet and we like to protect you and save you from the nonsense out there, especially nasty, wicked enemies of progress and stuff like that. Have you not seen, or maybe you haven't because they might have deleted it by the time you didn't see it, Shxts N Gigs on their apology
Hey,
tour.
how can we not see
mean
it?
It's even just
Everywhere.
them. It's everyone is doing content around their
Yeah.
Like, it's like they are the guys now. And with great, was it power comes steady.
Great responsibility.
No, that's the one. That's
See,
the one.
I always think of more
Heavy, isn't
you're
it?
nobody until somebody hates you.
Kills you, as Iggy says. Yeah,
I feel like that's what they're experiencing.
yeah, it's come quick. They might not think so, but it's come quick. So basically, guys, if you just do not know, like earlier this year, Shxts N Gigs were doing the American couch hopping for promoting their American tour, and they stopped off at the Flagrant podcast hosted by Andrew Schultz, Cash, and Alex Media or something like that.
Media.
So
and
a white guy. Oh, and then the white guy on the B mic as well. Can't remember his name.
I
Adam
think
or something.
His name is.
All right, so it's a white guy, black guy, and an Asian guy walking to a bar. So Shxts N Gigs are on the couch and they're having a chit chat. You know,
Ain't great for diversity, is it?
well,
You would say it's not working based on us, but anyway. But go on.
they came on the show and they were having a chit chat. You know, the good old conversation. And straight off the bat, the conversation landed on the black girl glow up, the black girlfriend effect, because they were talking about Harry and Meghan, and then I think Fuad said something about the black girlfriend effect, and Akash, actually, the Asian host, said, oh, what something about the black girl effect is because they're always fighting. And then Andrew was like, well, explain. So they explained what the black girlfriend effect is. Do you guys know what the black girlfriend effect is?
Black wife effects. We spoke
Yeah.
about it, yeah.
There you go, just checking it, you know. And so they were like, so then Andrew was like, what is it? They explained, you know, it's when a white man gets a glow up when he goes out with a black woman. And Andrew, it was at that point when Andrew looked kind of pissed off and annoyed. And that's what I got. I got like he was affronted by the fact that white men glow up when they're with a black woman, is the stereotype goes. So he started saying, like, what do you mean? He goes, they, what was it? They shave their hair because it's probably losing it because the black women are cussing them so much, and they grow a beard to protect them from all the slaps that they're getting. And it was like a chuckle moment for them. But even Alex Media was kind of quiet in that moment. Shxts N Gigs. Giggling away and not shutting shit down. Now,
what is the black girlfriend effect? This is
You don't know about
glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up, glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow
step,
a beard
they step
because
their dick
there's
up.
more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of them. That's hilarious. I think the black girlfriend effect, it might be a protective instinct, bro.
You think?
Protective. Yeah. Do you guys have you ever had black girlfriends?
Yeah.
Have you ever had white girls?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. What's your favorite?
We love them all.
Yeah.
Oh really?
We love them all.
Yeah.
That means white.
Yo, who gets
That means white.
Hey, let me get a translation.
Kendrick fans?
We love them all.
That's royal English for white.
All right, where are the hottest white girls in all of Great Britain from?
Pengiest white girls in England, bro.
I say Manchester.
What'd you say?
Peng means
hot.
like
I thought you said penis white girls.
Peng, bro. Yeah, you guys need to step your British slang up.
We got the penis white girls here too.
Yeah, bro. I've seen on the walk here, bro.
Yeah. Did you get caught?
Caught
what?
I don't know. You tell me.
checking it out.
What happened with the penis white girl?
Seeing that bulge from the back or something.
From the back like a bulldog?
Nah, I seen
Yo, with the nuts are waddling from the back.
a very attractive human, I think was like mid-transition.
Mid.
Yeah, mid-transition.
Are you describing it or are you saying halfway through?
like halfway
I
through?
thought you were like, they transitioned, but it was mid.
No, I'm not rating the transition. Yeah, midway through the transition period. And I was like,
I watched the whole interview. The interview was cool. I actually think they did well as they warmed up. It was like half an hour to 40 minutes in, then they realised, oh, this is Andrew's a gotcha kid, and he likes to get you into saying sensitive things or things that could go viral and get you cancelled. So he's a trickster. They only realised it after the fact.
It took him too long.
But especially the fact that they went through the conversation and it was that point when they were unable to defend black women properly. Did you guys watch it?
It wasn't only that, though. He also said to them about, what do you prefer?
Yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah.
I know, but I'm just...
They said they like everybody.
They did the All Lives Matter.
Do you
They
know
All
what I
Lives
mean?
Matter. That
And then
conversation.
the guy said
means white.
that means what?
Yeah, they gave room
You know what I mean?
for it to show that
And then
they...
and that was
and
the
then they
second
laughed.
point. They didn't shut it down again.
Hilariously.
You know what I mean?
They laughed from their bellies.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
amusing to them.
It's actually, I watched the interview at the time because when it flashed up on the old YouTube, I was like, oh my God, I like Flagrant. I know Andrew isn't for everybody.
Same.
He definitely treads that racial line. But I was like, Shxts N Gigs on Flagrant, this should be jokes. And I watched it and I was awkward as hell watching the whole thing. And I felt like Andrew didn't want to interview them. Felt like he had been coerced into doing it. And so he took the piss more than he usually would with people. He was going on like he doesn't know anything about British culture. He was making them trip up themselves. And what he did know is that those two are known for not really dating black women. That's what he did.
That's
know.
what he honed in
and
on.
that's why he honed in on it. And they showed themselves.
Yeah, he didn't.
They did.
He tripped them up because they hadn't done their research. I was going to say, like, by the kicking 40 minutes, watching the whole of it, they eased and they figured him out, and they kind of had the better banter. The show flowed better, but it was like they were able to defend so many other things and catch him out. But on the topic of black women, that exposed. I mean, they've long had rumors that they don't date.
And the thing
in our
is,
space.
you can date whoever you want,
can.
Just own it with your chest,
Yeah,
and
that
you don't
part.
need to shit on other people.
That part too.
To lift what your preferences up. You don't
Your
have to do
preference
that.
definitely
Do you know
is
what
your
I mean?
preference. And do
Exactly.
you.
That's your preference.
Yeah,
man.
I'm with you. I
Own
hate
it
when
with your
people do that
chest.
shit.
And the thing is, like, you can have your banter, do your thing, but you just leave us out of the conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Just leave us out. And the thing about Andrew, like, again, this is what he does. He baits, he race baits, he does all of that stuff. But I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable with what he does. He does it. I know he does it to every race, not whatever. But it's just black culture is the part where everyone feels comfortable to tear it apart. You don't have the right people in the room to kind of shut it down. Like with Charlemagne, it's very clear he loves black women. He will always stand up for black women. They'll have their banter, but at least with Charlemagne, I think he will always defend it in the moment.
But you know what? I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck about what Andrew Shxts or whatever the fuck his name, what he said. My argument is with Shxts N Gigs because this is not their first time saying shit and giggling. It's not their first time. You know what I mean? They were on Poor Minds, and what were they saying about girls from Atlanta? There's no baddies in Atlanta.
Can you imagine?
They have
the
not
whole
one.
of Atlanta.
They haven't seen
These
one
two
baddie.
frigging out of London send out youths, are going to Atlanta and saying there's no baddies there. Are they all right?
They're on their own platform,
Crazy.
talking about black girls are this and black girls.
what was it, the video that
black
came out
girls are
just
that,
now?
and how I didn't like the black girls in my school. They were hideous. They used to bully me, but they were hideous. Maybe they bullied you because you were calling them hideous, bro. Maybe that's what happened.
This is what I'm saying because the girls, the said girls allegedly who allegedly have bullied him have been in the comments. No, you was an arsehole.
Yeah,
you was an arsehole.
They basically just gunned him because, and you can tell James is arrogant.
Yeah,
we've all been to school with a boy like James, who thinks he is nice, and you're literally like, you are average at best.
At best.
And sometimes you've got to just reduce them.
Yes.
And that's basically what he suffered. But he definitely has a problem with black women. You see that he always toes that line. Feel bad. I don't know, but he kind of co-signs him.
Someone called him a backup dancer. He's like a backup singer and a backup dancer because he's just there saying nothing. You're saying nothing.
Yes.
You're letting things slide. James chats shit daily and you're just letting it slide. You should be pulling him up. What do you say when you go home and you look at your mum or your sisters or your aunties or your nieces or whatever the hell? You're just letting this.
And the thing is, this is what I'm saying. I didn't know actually how many black women watch Shxts N Gigs. I didn't know it was majority black women. Like I knew
it's not
like
majority
a lot,
black.
but that's where they're going. That's where they're going on, and that's why they've done
their
like
demographics. I've looked.
I'm not saying, but that's what they're saying. Like that's the thing, and they're kind of like positioning as like they grew on them. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, if that is a core part of your audience, maybe it's not all your audience, but it's a core part of your audience, then you have to be respectful. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, we can't be in 2024, guys,
and still dealing with this.
Honestly, it's enough.
And then to make matters worse, they come out with some shit apology. And it's not even an apology.
No.
It was like a pathetic excuse for an apology. It was them trying to hold on to their bag, make sure they don't get cancelled. And basically trying to rush it as well. Yeah, we fucked up in it. Yeah, we fucked up. Yeah. We know we fucked up.
We just want to move on.
We just want to move on.
Can't even make eye contact with the camera, you know?
What's crap as well is them deleting all their videos, like 100 videos, and deleting the apology, because it's like, if you were genuine, you wouldn't need to delete the apology.
Because if your apology was based on the fact that you went on this show, and it's all down to the fact that you went on this one particular show, and you didn't stand up for black women in that moment, why have you deleted 100 videos? Because you don't stand up for black women, and you chat shit, and you're disrespectful.
Did you see
That's why you've done that.
Did you see the clip that they shared on Shade Room? Like, he was Shade Borough. When they were talking to a white girl said that she wished that she was black, and they were like, why?
Yeah.
I know.
Why would you, like, that part?
That was
like,
Fuad's. He ain't beating no charges.
Yeah, that was Fuad.
He ain't beating no charges.
That was Fuad.
Seriously.
No, actually.
It was James did it as well.
Yeah, but
it was
the one that
he was the one with the white
it was
girl.
him.
No, but James said
saying
you win it. James said
was
you
it
win
James
it.
said
I
you're
know,
winning?
but it was his story. It's his experience.
Yeah.
That was his reaction.
Yeah.
Knowing
sharing
that she wanted some mixed race babies.
This is it.
And you're
That's what
allowing
the girl was saying to him.
anyhow.
And this is what I'm saying. It's just like, you know how many black men over the years have said, oh, it's just banter. It's just bants. This is the bants they're talking about.
Yeah.
This is the bullshit bants.
Basically.
It's not bants, it's racism. It's
bants.
misogynoir. That's what it is. And we've had enough. We've actually had enough.
Yeah.
So fuck you lot, man.
Fuck you lot and fuck you lot to the end.
Honestly.
Seriously.
I'm a partial fuck you on this point. There was a few other clips that were going around, and I was like, okay, guys, like, they actually haven't done anything in this regard. So even in that conversation, how it starts when he's talking about the white girl, and then James jumps in and the white girl saying, I want to be a black girl. And Fuad's like, what do you even say to that? And he's like, well, you should have said to her, if you were black, you probably wouldn't get a black man. And people were going at him for that. There are lots of black men that's factually true. So it's a joke.
No, it's not. That's. I think you can say that, but it's just it's compounding. Do you know what I mean? It's the opinions, the negative opinions on black women that have compounded over time,
and it's allowing that to linger without a rounded conversation. I know we can't always be nice and neat in a box, but that's the narrative you're laughing about it, and you're saying you're winning. Why would you want to? And you're not caveating. You're not closing it. You're not saying anything. The same thing sitting on flagrant. You're not even coming back to say nah, but or something, but. So and then in the apology,
they're not actually strong enough to do that intellectually. Because their comedy is so basic anyway. It literally is two guys chatting.
It's robbed from other people.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is the thing, as I was saying yesterday, if it weren't for creators like Alani, putting out her questions out there and her responses, would we have a Shxts N Gigs of this level? Do you know what I mean? There is creators like that. We're doing this consistently, putting their craft out there for anyone like them to grab. Do you know what I mean? To build a whole platform for you to shit on the people that you've stolen from.
Yeah,
I think it's a bit of both. Man. I see it. I'm just not as passionate because I also think that there is a level of when you rise in fame, you have that moment when all eyes are on you and they start going through your stuff in clip form, and then it's very easy to dog pile, I hate you. And I feel like they're getting a bit of that.
To be fair,
I don't think
caveat, what happened to us?
Because
that's the thing.
Why
people,
I'm like, okay.
No, I get what you're saying.
But
I do
no
get what
one's
you're
going to
saying.
watch everything. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely,
Unless they do.
I get what you're saying. Some people
like,
make it their job to watch everything. I get what you're saying, but I definitely will still stand on they don't protect black women. They don't.
No, they don't.
And the part in the apology, when they're saying we're supposed to be here to protect you and stuff like that. Yeah. There's too many clips. There's too much evidence of the other. There's too much.
Then we're not saying all of the other. The reason why it's like I'm not even. I don't know these guys from any. I don't actually, not particularly. I admire their hustle that they did something with British media. That's one thing I admire. But also they did invest money in Madam Joyce. They have platformed other black women. So it's like I can't only be like you guys are shitheads because they have also done quite a few good.
I don't know if that's my part. I don't know if they've done that because they really want to celebrate black women or because they know the Queen. I don't know that. I can't comment on that. I can't comment on that.
Doing it.
But it's just I don't respect people that come out and start shitting on black. I can't respect you. If you're laughing at people putting us down, I can't respect you for that. I can't respect you for that.
A white man is taking the piss out of the people that you come from, and you're kiki showing all 32 teeth in your big mouth.
Later on in the conversation, they were talking. Andrew was like, there was a scenario which I actually wanted to bring to the table, but there was a scenario, and then Andrew was like, "Who's like the most hottest woman?" And James said, Megan Thee Stallion," and Andrew was like, Meg, like he almost might have
James said that.
James said Meg Thee Stallion. And then Andrew must have said Andrew was acting horrified and disgusted, and then it took a long time before he said, "Oh, she's a beautiful woman, but not top 5." And James was like, "You're being racist. Like, are you racist?" So it's a long time before they got into that kind of.
They found him.
He probably said that because he caught onto the fact of where Andrew was trying to go.
Yeah, he did.
It took him a while.
I'm not giving him getting there by the end.
But my point is,
do you know what I mean? Because they could have taken any moment to go back on that conversation and say, actually, do you know what I mean? And have it on record. They could have got up at that moment. There's so many things they could have done. They could have said, you know what, Andrew? I did give my consent, but now I withdraw my consent. I actually don't want this to go out. There's so many things they could have done.
They said during the apology, they said, you know, when you're out, when you're not in it, you think to yourself, oh, if someone says this, I'm going to tear down the microphone, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. But, you know, when you're in it, you just want to get through it. You just want to get through it. piss off.
So no,
Do you think that I could be in an environment and someone's
real.
chatting shit?
I think that's real.
I think I am like extending grace. Actually, the more we're talking about it, the more I am like, you know what? This is a lot. They started the same time as us. They're literally 5 years, actually a little bit before us. They're like 5 years in the game.
Man.
You're going to be, I'm on Andrew Schultz flipping sold out Madison Square Gardens 3 nights in a row. You literally are going to be like, this is one of the top performers. We're on his pod. You're going to be gassed.
No. I'm not saying you're not going to be gassed, but I guarantee you, if we were on his show,
We're older than them.
if we were on his show, or someone older who's, I don't know, and they started being disparaging about black men, you are not going to sit there and take it.
Most definitely.
You're not going to sit there and take it. You're going to fight back. You might not leave the podcast. You might not throw shit down, but you're not going to sit there and be laughing and kicking in. You're not going to do that.
But also for me, that's why because I made a point to watch the whole thing, and it in the whole thing, my first stance when I found the story, I was very pissed off with them. When I watched the whole thing, it gave me a little bit more context, and my anger switched. Not anger, I'm not angry, but my pissed offity leaned more to Andrew, because it is like, and it's not even, he has been given space to do this. And like I said, I go back to the fact that he's very comfortable, and we can do, you've watched more of him. Is he that risky with the communities that could
He's risky with everybody.
Everybody.
He's risky
Okay,
with
so if he's-
Everyone will get it, other than the community that if you go at them, you're going to lose
The other
your
thing
job.
I will say is this.
That's
My
it.
last
But
point
everyone
on it
gets
is this, yeah? My last point on it is this. This came out when?
It's
I
early.
think it was like February.
That's my point.
Yeah, it was a
It
while
came
ago.
out in February. They've apologised now. They've apologised now because it's gone viral. That's why they've apologised. You didn't apologise at the end of the show when you felt like, oh, actually, maybe that didn't go. Maybe I shouldn't say. You didn't. Yeah, but that's my point. Why didn't you think that? Why didn't if you're in that space, it's taking it going viral and someone pointing out the errors for you to think that.
that's how you
I don't
learn.
think that's right.
But I don't think that Andrew, yes, he's loosely, I'm going to say, comedian, because I feel like he guises his race baiting under comedy. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's not like this mega genius. Like, do you know what I mean? He really isn't. And it's not like they're the dumbest people on earth. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's so many things that they could have done in that moment, and they chose not to. They were gassed.
Yeah.
They were gassed to be
They
there.
were gassed,
They were gassed for white, what do you call it? A white focus on them. That's what they were gassed by. They were gassed by being in the States. That's what I'm saying. You have to be some kind of arrogant to go on that show and do that, then to go on Poor Minds and say what you said. That's arrogance.
Yeah.
That's absolute
it's gone
arrogance.
to their heads, but
Absolutely
it would do.
not.
How quick they've grown and how they've elevated, it would do.
Without
and that's the
I
thing
don't
where
think
it's
you're going to
part-
learn a very
I do
hard
think
lesson.
that part-
immediately.
And they are.
Yes,
I absolutely
good.
agree with you, because there's so many cases of this happening to people, and that's why they say you need media training and stuff like that. You need the right type of group behind you and right people behind you. I'm not saying none of that stuff is not true, but if you did that show and you felt during that show uncomfortable and you didn't like the things that he said during that show, but you wanted to get through it, like you're saying in your apology, why has it taken the clip going viral for you to talk about it?
That's why I think they shouldn't have apologised.
You could have spoken about it at the time.
because they didn't feel no way. They shouldn't have
But that's my
apologized.
part. You didn't feel no way.
It was
You
folly
were
to
okay.
apologize.
You were all right about it.
They knew what's going to happen if they didn't apologize, and it's happening anyway because now they've deleted the apology.
nonsense.
They're
'Cause
going
you
to
know
get
what?
feet. But actually, at the same time, you know what? What's going to happen is people are going to be in the comments. No, James. No, feel
That is
it's fine.
absolutely not happening to them
I
because
accept your
people
apology.
love
Watch.
tearing down a celebrity.
Watch is
They
going to
love-
happen.
it's
They're going to
not
be
happening.
fine. They're going to be absolutely fine.
The
Watch,
amount
this
of
is gonna blow
content
over.
literally gunning them.
There is a
that's
lot.
to
They've
me
been
is like
turned into-
all right, guys, because also Andrew's clip. Where is the venom for Andrew Schultz?
That's what I'm
He's the
saying.
one that said it. They were just sitting there. Also, they're just sitting there. Alex Media is also on the same couch, not saying anything.
And he didn't
but
say
it's
anything.
targeted at these two because their blow up has been so phenomenal. And people do like bringing down somebody when they blow up
They do.
phenomenally.
Absolutely.
So it's like they have their core following who are not going to leave them. But everybody else who was just getting to know them, it ain't going to change shit. But,
For now.
For now, I hope that they rise above this, really, and truly learn from it. And also start to think actually what is community? What do I stand for?
Yeah.
What spaces should I be in? How do I
donations?
cope?
And do the work.
Donate to black
They
women.
need to do the work, innit?
Yes.
That's what they need
You
to
can't
do.
just
the
say
work.
your
Don't
story.
do
You need to
fake
do the
apology.
work.
They can't do it.
That's why they didn't
weren't
need to
prepared.
apologise.
They
No,
shouldn't
they
have.
weren't
They
prepared.
should
They
have
should
addressed it on-
have. They should
they
have
should have-
absolutely apologized
should have
because
done-
what happened in that situation was wrong, and they could have done better. And I'm glad that they should have apologized better. They should have done it heartfelt in terms
That's
of
what
what
I'm
they
saying. They
actually
should probably had a
Do you
conversation
know what I mean?
about it. Would have been better off doing a show talking about why they went wrong. Had some black women on, had a conversation. That would have been a better conversation.
Yeah.
Then you would know that it's truly
Yeah,
something.
that's what you
The
should have
sitting
done.
in front of a camera and being like, "So guys, you've heard about."
That's arrogant in
what I'm
itself.
saying.
What are you
Because
doing?
there's
This
other
is
pods that have
pointless.
done things that have been left, like 90s Baby. They got in trouble not too long ago,
And
right?
they- what
Do you
did
know
they
I mean?
do?
And they broke it down. They apologized.
They had people
heartfelt.
on the
They
show.
had
They did
people
a whole
that knew.
show around
You know what I
it.
mean?
That's
they
a real
really
apology.
done, and they've done the work.
They didn't try to act like they did.
So
they
it's
didn't
not impossible.
think at the
No,
time.
I think
They're
I
not
get
idiots.
No, they because they they did the
I'm
what
super
they thought.
actually not super surprised because when you see their management, you can understand why a camera would be placed in front of them.
Yeah, people
and
think
it's
that's
like apologize. But at this moment in time, we've had so many false apologies. Don't do it.
Don't.
Unless you are truly in. I need to apologize. Just don't do it.
Take a minute, even if you take a month, 2 months.
Yeah,
Like it's
could-
better
or
you do
could-
it when you
could
mean
just
it.
move on, and
yeah.
then when you get to the point of, you know what, we've really heard you guys.
Yes.
Then come back, but don't do a knee jerk because it's pointless. They said nothing, and it's actually turned out worse.
Yeah.
because you've given Andrew more material to now gun
Imagine
you
he's
on.
now
He's
mocking
reacted
you.
to.
Imagine
You
he's
know what I mean?
mocking you.
But the thing is,
you
because
also shit on him, even though
That's the thing.
you shit on him.
You like in your
He's
apology, you're blaming Andrew.
And he
You're
gave
not
a-
even taking responsibility.
Right.
Always gonna gun you for that.
Fucking
But that's
hell,
rude
mate.
because like he gave you a platform
Pussy
on his
behaviour.
show, and he knows what he's doing, what it does for you to be on his show. I'm not defending him, but
does
then
know.
then you're turning and shitting on him. You could have said anything. He didn't stop you from saying anything. He didn't stop you.
Listen, I've watched people swear at Andrew, and Andrew will laugh and be like, you got me. Because it's like, that's his thing. So if you're there and you are allowing him to bait you and basically you gave a all girls matter answer, he is going to go on that.
Yeah.
Like, you just got. That's probably what they needed to say. We got, you know.
Let's move on.
Soz.
Because mate,
Boy,
Disappointed.
do you know who else got caught?
Who else got?
Diddy.
Oh, Diddy, the diddler.
Diddy has finally been arrested. Diddy
We
is
thank God. Come on, please.
Yeah,
We thank God. We thank God.
and months
Seriously.
of speculation.
Yeah.
And has he? Did he? Did he not? Did he do it?
I mean-
when's it going to happen? Is he going to get arrested? Is he not? Is he going to get away with it? Diddy has finally been arrested. He was arrested on Tuesday, and he went for bail today, and they are still denying his bail. He's said he will put up 50,000. Sorry, not
50
50,000,
million.
50 million. And he said he will also ensure that there are no females in his company.
But he likes
about the
both
lads?
of them,
What about the lads?
allegedly.
I know. There are no females
lads?
in his company,
Allegedly.
and other than those who work for him.
I mean, that's
They're the ones
that's
that
his
are doing
enterprise.
problems.
They're the word.
They're part of
They're
his
the ones that are
enterprise.
suing him.
yeah. Or are his baby moms, basically. So Diddy has been done. It's a RICO case. Remember I said that?
a
It's
RICO.
a RICO. The indictment states from 2008 to the present, members and associates of Diddy's enterprise allegedly engaged in sex trafficking, forced labour, interstate transportation for purposes of prostitution, coercion, enticement to engage in prostitution, narcotic offences, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. During the raids, they also found an arsenal of weaponry, some of which had the serial numbers shaved off.
Yeah.
Now, you only shave off serial numbers in your
it's a
arsenal
crime.
if there's been a crime committed.
In a crime. And they had IV drips. Have you heard about the IV drips?
He's done that on camera though.
That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, he did it with his mum a couple of times where
No,
where
what
they
he
were
used-
partying and then he was like, we have to like, and they're literally on a live doing the IV drips together.
Yeah.
So it was like known he does this stuff.
But what he done with it is like after the freak-offs allegedly, then he would give that to the alleged victims.
So they could feel better.
Do you know
To
what I mean?
re-perk up.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, so speaking of the freak-offs, there were multiple tapes found that he kept as evidence that he would use to basically blackmail the people that he had drugged.
Hundreds.
So he would drug people that came to his parties, and then he would have them engage in illicit acts, and then he would later on blackmail them with the tapes.
Yeah.
And
Diddy is done out.
Old school coercion he was
Yeah.
he was dealing in, really. You know, I saw a new strand of conspiracies, maybe you guys have heard it, in regards to Diddy, and they're saying that Kris Jenner allegedly is also going to be pulled in because she has something to do with this. In terms of Diddy's money was going through her church.
Oh, does she have a church?
She has a church, yes. And that was how he was funneling some money as well. And it's like there's a whole wide escape of loads more people are going to be involved. They got him on this sex stuff, but then the money, when they start to find the money, it's other bigger players who have basically...
Well, basically, the US
funneling money.
Attorney General, he's come out in his press conference and he has said, this is what we have at the moment, but we are not done.
Yeah.
And
He said there's a lot more evidence.
Asking if anyone's got a tip, phone 199999. Not funny. What was I going to say? Yeah, there was an article that went out on the Root magazine, and apparently had it's got pictures of Diddy. Like I saw the link afterwards. It's put in a group that I'm in. It had pictures of Diddy with different celebrities, and one of the celebrities was Jay-Z. Literally, I think the minute the person dropped it in the group to maybe 5 seconds after everyone was like, oh, let's look at the link, that picture was swapped out.
Oh, really?
The picture of Jay-Z was swapped out, apparently, within minutes or seconds or whatever. But it's like, who else? Because literally, if you're a partaker of the party, if you were on the plane, if you walked with Diddy, if you held his hand, if you had a phone call, in that time, you're going to get taken in. You're now part of it, even if it's just for questioning. And that taint is going to taint you.
Jeffrey Epstein.
It's Jeffrey Epstein all over again.
I said it yesterday,
but there's
and
so
I'm saying
many
it again.
people.
That's why
there's so
the
many.
case, when everyone, sorry to interrupt you, but when everyone was saying, what's going to happen? Is he even going to be arrested? He is, because this is what they did with Epstein. They kind of raided his houses, and then Epstein was like, maybe I've got away with it, go about living his life. But no, they're just building the case. This case is years in the making. Cassie doing that was just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
This has been years in the making.
They've definitely been watching him
Absolutely.
for ages.
It's
actually nuts that after you've literally had your house raided by Homeland Security, still you're doing shit. Still you're ringing people off to be like
54 times.
54 times.
One of the
What's her
witnesses.
name? D Woods. 54
times.
And he actually was calling Dawn Richards as well. Once she filed, and then you had drugs in your room. Dude, you come to New York to hand yourself in. Why do you have drugs?
But at that point, it's like, how out of control is he? Do you know what I mean?
He probably thinks he owns New York. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also at this point,
the irony of it.
Yeah.
The irony is that a year ago they gave him the key to New York.
Yeah. That's what the guy was saying. And we're going to actually
so
remove
true.
it.
That is probably
Lock it back up.
It's true. It is. So he's thinking, I have people in my pocket. Yeah, it's the FBI, but come on now, a billionaire. I have people. So he isn't moving like somebody who is really they are going to put me under the jail. He isn't moving like that.
Because they get to that level of delusion. And when he's been getting away with it for so long, when it says transactional, we've talked about it before. At what point of fame and richness do you lose your mind? Do you lose all sense that you're still... Can we put... I don't know if it's just about race, but at this point, you are a black man playing in a different space that they don't really want us in the world that we live in the way the world's set up. When do you lose your mind?
I think you get to a certain standard and you have gravitas and they will get you, and it doesn't matter what colour you are.
No, I get. I'm
and
saying
they
I don't know if you put race.
The race lines to the lesser people, and so you keep that going. But when it comes to money and what they're gonna do, it doesn't matter who you are. If you have a gravitas, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
So really, you can see the timeline. He came about in the late 90s. And they say his criminal activities start from 2008. Yeah. So they gave him 10 years.
They gave him 10 years.
And then whoever was the person, whether it's Clive Davis allegedly or whoever was the co-sign to Diddy's our man, he'll do things. We need to know who that person is. Who is the kingmaker?
But that's
they're
the part.
one.
That's
Like,
the part.
like,
But they're the one. But that's the thing. They're the ones that never get brought down.
Diddy's legal team seem to be giving R. Kelly's or taking lessons from R. Kelly's legal team because the stuff that they're coming out and saying is he's not a perfect man.
I know.
Yeah, they're caveating carefully.
It's like no one's saying he's perfect, but he's not a criminal. You know, and he denies all the charges, every single charge he's denying.
Oh my God! Did you see what they said about Cassie?
Yes, I did.
His new defense
Yes.
with Cassie
Oh my
is
God.
that it was a lover's tiff. So he paints the picture.
He does. He does.
He's
Who
like,
said that?
he's
The
like,
lawyer.
His lawyer. His
They're
lawyer
two
came out.
consenting
Oh, that's, I saw
adults.
two consent. I did
Listen,
see
he
that.
paints the picture of they are in the hotel room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassie has gone through Diddy's phone.
Yep.
And she has seen correspondence with another woman.
So
she says, "Who is this woman you're talking to?" And throws the phone in his head and takes his clothes.
And
Oh,
that's
And that warrants what he
And
did.
so that's why he ran out in his towel.
That's why they were having a fight, and she stole.
She
his
hit him
clothes.
first, and he just hit her back.
Yeah, and then this part as well. She was going to write a book, but she said, "You can pay me for the book." So that's
Oh,
why.
so that's why he
Yeah.
had to drag her by her
And
hair.
throw a vase at her.
This is
why he had
after.
to
This
pay
is why
the
the lawsuit
30 million
because she was going to write a
Oh, okay.
book.
Yeah.
So
But then what's wrong with her writing a
And
book
then,
then?
Dragging off
they
the
were too
hair.
anything,
Love is fine.
Oh,
anything
Love is
they
fine.
engaged in, anything they engage in, they're two consenting adults.
Like
Yeah.
she was party to it. Like
But the thing
is
is,
how he's trying to pay.
That's
her.
what when I was seeing that thing where everyone's kind of implicated. I wonder
Oh, wait,
what that
sorry,
does. What does that do for
Sorry,
Cassie
sorry.
being implicated in that space? Because you know that even whether she was drugged or or whatever condition she was in, she potentially could get into trouble.
No, she's
No.
helping them.
yeah.
She,
So she's always
because
gonna-
she
is
was
she
also
protected
She's
the whole
got
way?
immunity.
Has she got immunity?
I believe so.
I don't know.
From
She's
sources I've
helping
seen,
the
she
case.
actually does.
The
have
other thing his
immunity.
legal team said as well about Cassie.
Andrew thing. But
Oh,
yeah.
okay. The other thing that the legal team said about Cassie was that she cheated. He got her a trainer, and she cheated on him with the trainer.
Oh,
And she went on to have 2 babies with the trainer,
Her husband.
her husband.
that's crazy.
It's crazy.
So sorry.
That's the defense.
So she is.
disgusting,
Does she definitely have immunity?
It's not. They haven't said. The Southern District
Okay.
Attorney hasn't said she does, but from what people are saying, other sources, she has been helping them, and she does because she also has medical records. Because remember, she was blacking out.
Yeah.
And so she has medical records of being beaten
Okay.
and drugged.
She's
Okay.
on the side
So
of the
it's like-
And
prosecution.
also,
That's fine.
Yeah,
I just
she
wanted
also
to.
is a-
That's what I wanted to be
she's
clear
a
about.
victim. And
Yeah.
also in some of the witnesses' statements, they talk about Cassie in particular.
No, I get that.
Them
Just wanted to
witnessing,
check.
things that he did to her.
It's just good to know because
I understand what you're saying because
Yeah.
also she was booking some of the men. So there's that. But then the act of, I guess even for his assistants,
Exactly.
they obviously
They're all-
have to turn on him.
Exactly.
Because you can be like, I had to do what he told me to do for one, the firearms. The guy is walking with weapons. Like, he has allegedly shot somebody. So he does things so that you also are scared of him.
Yes, and-
I think it's all of that. It's like, it's even security. If you turn on him, I think you're probably not going to do time. You'd have to turn on him and be like, I'd have to do it.
Yeah,
you'd have to do, but not everybody
it's
has.
the same as Epstein. It's the same as the women in Epstein that were helping the case.
Yeah.
The woman who was, what you call
Some
it?
of the victims.
Yeah, what's her name? FARRAH. I can't remember her name.
Andrew,
Yeah.
as well, that kind of thing. She was helping the prosecution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's not going to be prosecuted in the same way for anything that she may be involved with or may be subject to.
Yeah.
It's not going
Yeah.
to happen. for
I
her.
d-
Yeah,
She's
in the
helping-
pyramid
but-
scheme of
yeah.
it, because
Yeah.
she also
Exactly.
was still recruiting girls.
So it just
Yeah,
depends on how much
exactly.
you
That's
can
it.
give up and stuff like that. But if you're on a lesser scale and you don't have that kind of legal representation, you also probably
yeah,
will be
yeah,
thinking
but he
about
had to be enabled.
stuff. Of course.
I do think,
Yeah.
and this is the thing, even with Jeffrey, him and Ghislaine got
Yeah,
sent down. But
yeah.
what about everybody else?
Yeah,
There
are
are a whole
complicit.
load of other people that were doing some shit, and the same. Even R. Kelly. It's like,
Yeah.
where are all of the people that was around him that was bringing him the girls? Why aren't
Yeah.
they doing time?
Yeah.
So I hope more people do get done for Diddy as well.
I do.
thing.
I hope
I mean,
they
you
all
have
go
to prove
down.
you're a victim.
But I think that's the part
the
where
thing.
that's the part where people are going to be sitting there thinking, boy, because
Well, if you're
the way he said like we are expecting links, it was such a like a, and the way the guy said it, Attorney General or whatever, he was like, yes, we're investigating. We implore you to get in
He said
touch.
act quickly.
Act quickly. Because that was like a heavy loaded warning. If you don't act quickly, we're coming to bust down your door.
then you
carry
can
And
weight.
it's a wrap.
Right, that's
gonna
what
be
I heard.
I was
That's
scared,
what
and I ain't done that. I don't know
I felt
nothing.
it carried weight.
I felt scared.
I act quickly.
Oh, you know what else I watched today? Actually, it was quite interesting. Diddy's lawyers were fighting the 100 million default.
From Rob.
Yeah, this is I can't remember what his name
Oh,
is.
the guy
Colin
in
Smith,
prison.
the one in
Yeah.
prison.
Oh, who's Rob? Oh, Rob's the other guy.
Yeah.
about him last
Yes.
week.
Yeah, okay.
So the guy in prison, they had a hearing, and his lawyer actually won this act. So the default has been overturned, but now Diddy's team have to prove that he didn't do anything to the prisoner.
Okay.
And the prisoner is one of those that is like fighting everything. So he's been suing bare people, and he also helps other prisoners. So the judge was in there trying to set up a next date when they can meet again. She's throwing out dates, and he's like, sorry ma'am, I can't do that date because I'm going to be defending such and such
wow.
on their case. And he's one of
How long
those.
is he in for?
He's in for a violent rape, which he says he did. Absolutely, he was like, and he kept on bringing it in, which I think this is strategic because he knows Diddy has all the press. So he kept on talking about his case and how innocent he is, and he's been set up by so many different gangsters. And it should be like, that's not what we're here for. And he'll be like, I'm sorry, and then carry on talking about
Oh,
Diddy's thing.
he's playing
So
the
he
long
may
game.
be using this to get off of his other charges, but he's super smart. Very smart. It was, when you're like watching court.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. How did I stumble upon this? But yeah, so far, Diddy doesn't owe him 100 million anymore.
Diddy's done out.
So there. But he, he still can't sell anything, actually. Diddy can't release any of his assets. So that's been
Did they
done.
freeze his assets? Yeah.
Yeah, did now.
Yeah, they have. Oh, good.
So he can't
Well,
sell any because
I
he
got
put his
50
house
mil.
on the
Yeah,
market.
to try and
Yeah.
get the
to get the
try and get the bail money.
Like,
He is a flight risk. I think
that's what they
he is a
said.
flight
They said
risk.
he's a flight
100%.
risk. He
He's
is.
even arrogant to stay here. He should have left ages ago.
And then they clap his passport.
Do you know what I mean?
like
Oh,
there's
yeah.
ways. If you're
Yeah.
if you're
That's
a
why-
billionaire, you
that's
must
the
can
only
get
reason why I
out.
think
Yeah.
that he
People
didn't.
get out with less
No,
money.
but I reckon they've learnt their lesson, and I reckon they've
Put a
got
fake
so
nose
much
on.
on Diddy. Yeah, that's why they knew. Let me get this man's
Yeah.
passport now, and they just got all eyes on him. He couldn't.
If he did want to run, he probably could.
have.
He really thinks he's going to beat this. I actually
course.
truly
Yeah.
believe
He
he is like,
hasn't
I'm
pled
going to beat
guilty.
this.
He hasn't
I
pled
know.
guilty.
You know what I mean?
I'm still out here
He's
trying to
the
be
edge.
I'm
So who's
innocent.
the other man?
Yeah.
What's the other man? Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
coming out
been-
though, isn't it? Like so many cases.
No. Only
so many
like
charges
there's
are being
only a
dropped
couple of
against him.
cases that have been
Okay.
dropped, but he's still guilty of.
He got
Yeah.
charged with something else the other day as well. I'm
And
pretty
that he's going through another trial.
Yeah.
But he's still, even if all of them got dropped,
He will still be inside.
he's still going to do
Yeah.
like 15 years. And what's he done so far? Like 7 or something?
God already.
7.
I feel like it's been a long time.
Really?
So that was before pandemic.
I'm in the matrix,
Mate.
mate.
Yeah, I think.
I would
right.
think so. About
I think
7.
you're right, yeah.
It feels like it was ages
Was it
ago.
before the
Jesus.
pandemic?
It was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Defo. I don't know. I'm saying 6.
Diddy
I'm
would
saying
have
7.
to-
What you saying?
I'm saying.
Diddy would have to
I'm
give
saying.
I'm just
Fuck
like,
one.
oh, there's no
People.
reception in here.
Oh.
But you know what they were saying as well? Like they were like, oh, one of the
damn it.
questions they asked
Oh,
the
he was
Attorney
still
General
in charge of it.
was whether or not they were concerned for his life after giving the fact that
Yeah.
I saw that.
It's like,
given the fact that
in the
you're
press
the same
conference.
people that handled the Epstein case.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to align it with that. But
Yeah.
he'll be fine. But that's the next thing because people are speculating whether who he's going to sing like a canary.
That's why he's done out. Because if
What was
he
afterwards?
if he
22,
does,
he
if
said
he
was
rats out
sentenced-
people,
The Guardian said he was sentenced to 16 years in prison in 2022.
How long was he
Okay,
in
I thought it
prison?
was before.
2020, what 2 years ago? No way.
Unless
He
he
was
was just
sentenced.
in
Maybe
like,
different
in
states
jail
though.
for ages.
But
Might
like,
be
he
different
was-
states.
Maybe subpoenas.
When did the news actually break? Maybe that's where we're coming from. That's your 7
But
years.
that was 2 years. Bro.
Let's move on. Let's leave
That's
it.
what? That was your what?
That was my timescale was when it
Oh,
broke.
so yeah, okay, cool.
Nah, it's not 2 years ago he was in jail. No way.
I feel like this was time
Because
ago.
when
that he
did
was
Cosby
in
go
jail.
to jail and then come out?
In 2020, he was convicted 2 sex crimes. In 2022, he was found of 16 years. It's not looking further than 2020 at the moment. But we can research this another time. Maybe someone in the comments could put it in the comments and let us know.
Let us know
Yeah.
when he was actually first arrested, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like he may not have been bailed as well. So maybe he was just inside
Yeah.
for a while.
Or
All right.
Maybe.
Or maybe that was Jeffrey. No, Ghislaine was on house arrest for a bit. She was in. I remember her being in the forest and hunting.
I remember they would. Yeah, she went missing.
Yeah,
I
remember that. Yeah,
they literally are like Diddy is gonna run.
Yeah, get it.
It's true.
All right, so out here in the internet streets, next one is: do we need to gatekeep our culture just a tinsy bit?
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
I believe so. Mimi the blogger is out here talking all the facts all of the time. I truly do love that girl. I would love to have her on the show.
I know.
Wouldn't it would be great, innit? We want her on.
on.
So if she would. So she was out here and there is a clip of a white female DJ playing piano to a black crowd and she can't dance for shit.
For shit.
Yeah.
She can't I mean, I've had nothing against her mixing. I'm not really an piano fan. Did you hear it? Is her mixing good?
It wasn't just piano, was it? Or was it?
That's the clip that I saw.
I wasn't listening to the mix. I'm not gonna lie. I was distracted by the lack of rhythm and the off time.
Or something.
Her robotic move. But yes, Mimi just raised the point of, you know, this is what happens, isn't it? We have a cultural movement happening and Culture FM is there and it seems to have a few different mixes of DJs on there and white DJs, but she was just being cautious. Like, we should gatekeep a little bit. Like, we should keep our things to ourselves because, you know, what happens when you have a white person in our spaces, they seem to get heralded more than the black people that were doing it for years.
Yep.
And I think she is spot on, but she has received some backlash where people are like, why has it always got to come down to race? Why? Like, come on, the girl can play. And so I think we really do need to protect our black spaces.
I do.
What say ye?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's like, you know, we already have said it many, many times. Don't send me a video of anybody else doing what we do normally and naturally and fantastically. I don't like that. And I think it comes down to this pedestal that specifically white people are on when it comes to us. Like, anything they can do black is like, and I think they also have it in their world as well, that if like a white person can dance, sing, the minute a singer can hold a note, then oh my god, that's the black, you know, the black like version, like the Black Aretha or the black this or the black that. All, you know, the white soul singers that do a little bit of a warble, then they're immediately compared to our greatest, who are freaking amazing. So I'm not really for
like what Louis would say. You sing like a little Aretha Franklin.
Exactly.
Exactly. People.
And it's like again, it's like what we were saying about Andrew. It's like our culture is so ripe for picking, and we are, I think, a naturally generous and welcoming people, which is what, you know, when they came to our continent, they just like open arms. You know, it's just, I think it's not about racism or exclusion, but it is about being more protective of what we built, because we don't get the respect when we built it. This is what the conversation is going on about hip hop, the way it's been watered down, commercialized, and it's been destroyed. Yes, we're trying to, and people, that's why Kendrick.
But that's not black people's fault. That's
not
white
black
people's fault in terms of when they're doing the artistry. There are black people that have watered down.
But that's, yes, I'm just saying, but it's also that kind of open up the gates. It's okay. And you're not really thinking about putting respect on what we built. And we're not putting ownership on it. And then we're confused, scratching our head when it doesn't belong to us anymore. Or when someone else is credited as the best thing in our thing that we created. That pisses me off. That frustrates me.
No, I agree. I think like what Mimi is saying is nothing. Is what we've been saying for many, many years, like in every kind of iteration of what's popular. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are just like, it's getting a little bit watered down. Like, before it used to be like, we'll have the music in the clubs first and then it will go to the top of the pop.
Exactly.
And you've got like a different version. Do you know what I mean? We've just got different platforms now, but we've been saying the same thing. But it's interesting seeing this generation come to that realization that actually what's going to happen is they're going to suck the soul out of this and then they're going to sell it back to you in this watered down version. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's just a cycle continuing. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, actually, like you can't physically gatekeep people from music. It's almost impossible. Do you know what I mean? But I definitely think that there should be maybe a bit of a I don't know how to say it, a humbling,
Yeah.
or like a kind of like, you know, understanding that you are a guest here and being treated like a guest and not being and as you're saying, not being put on this absolute pedestal just because the color of your skin.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like that is it's really insane that this mediocrity can continue to happen.
It's true, because you're like,
In our
I can
face.
do that, and oh my god,
so
let's send the video round. Like, do not,
Like-
guys. My friend does this to me regularly. He sends me stuff. He's like, and I'm like, you're trying to make it out like I don't like these people, but I'm not going to round of applause something that I know someone could do in their sleep. Well done, sure, but like, it irritates me, and I would love to not invite, but I would like to have a conversation with a white person who's like, I just love, and I'm really good at this, and I just love this part of your culture, and I want to be a DJ or I want to be a singer, but then I feel this nerve. I would like to understand how they feel, just as a conversation,
Don't you think that
not to protect.
It's like sometimes it gives me strategic. Do you know what I mean? It's just like I can't be the top
Right.
in my space, so I'm gonna come here
Yes, there's
and be
that.
the top here because I'm gonna get attention because I stand out here because I'm different here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And there's this whole like. Oh, it's just it's so frigging frustrating. I see it a lot. I see it a lot in dance as well.
Yes.
It's irritating. Like it's irritating. I didn't like it with the chicken shop girl. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, what you guys said. I really don't like the chicken shop girl stuff. That infuriates me.
And we do. It's a long conversation, because there's parts where you can say you do it to yourself. Because with Amelia's rise, there was a point not to speak for Z, but there was a point when Z was on her rise, and she made a point to say, like, you aren't coming on my show. You're not giving. And I remember even on the rise of like the platforms that came out around the same time. Even sometimes myself is like, you can see when we're like, I'm not going to go to you, but I'm going to the white platform. I know that's a different thing in regards to where we value things that we think can take us further.
No,
And
it's exactly
that. No, because I was thinking like other like
it's the gaze.
it's
The
exactly
gaze
that.
are
Yeah.
gaze,
Yes.
and
You know what I
we
mean?
gaze at them that they can elevate
Like-
us, and we give them the elevation. And it is the thing of not being on code. That's why I can't actually put the blame at the white person's door. Because
Not always.
in the same way, the UK actors will go to America and get work. You're going to go where you're going to get work. It's for us. It's for the melanated people to be like, this is our space and we should be elevating ourselves. You can be a part of it, but in the same way Joe Soap has been... Look at 279. You're playing hip-hop forever. Westwood comes along and he becomes the guy. It's for us in our spaces to be like, no, it's for the punters to not have been going to Westwood.
But the thing is,
be going to 279's places. But we do it to ourselves. We elevate them, and then they're like, why are they being elevated? Because of the black gays.
But also, there's an element where Westwood came into the BBC and got given all the keys as well.
Right.
So it's like it's a two-way.
Who was going to his
part
rave?
of it.
No, I get that. I get that. But it's like a two-way thing, because you see him like Westwood's
it's
got
a multiple plan.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like,
because Westwood
it's
gets
hard.
Wu-Tang. 279 might not get Wu-Tang at that time, so Westwood gets Wu-Tang when I'm just saying it as an example.
Shouldn't even be going to him.
That's
that
where they
part-
should be on
yes,
code.
but then
100%.
but
that's
then
what I'm saying. That people shouldn't be going to chip. I understand.
But at the same time, but then
Do you know
again,
what I
if we're playing, not even, it's not Devil Advocates, just having a conversation. It's like, so, okay, we're Wu-Tang in, sorry to use Wu-Tang, we're a black hip hop group in America. The BBC or someone saying, you got a chance to come on this show and get exposed to, unless, and I'm sure some of them were like, well, who's the black station? There ain't one. Or they're not getting through. So they're going to go, it's just,
They walk to places, don't they?
We live in a different age now. So like I get like maybe back in the day.
Yeah, but now,
you could be fooled or you could be blindsided, like, okay, only go over here because this is where you're gonna maximum exposure. Now, as an artist, you yourself can look up on the internet easily and see, is this person or is this platform gonna give me the impact that who interacts with them on social media? You can do that if you really want to.
Yes.
And
So-
it needs like,
So it should be that they're not, anyone that's not of the culture should not be hired for any position. Because how does that even work? Because I mean, I'm intentional with who I work with.
You have to be
but
good. You have to be really good. Like
top
you
of
have
class
to be
of test.
amazing. You cannot be mediocre.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You see,
Agree,
people
I agree.
have to be twice as good.
Yeah.
You should be twice as good to enter.
You have to be twice as good
triple.
to get into
10
our
times.
space.
Yeah.
It's literally just
We should have that.
That's the exchange. The
Yeah.
same way that they have created their systems and their institutions, that's how we create ours.
Yeah.
So let's do the same thing. You got to be twice as good. I shouldn't be watching some girl playing who has no rhythm.
Cosplaying and pretending. Because
that shouldn't be a thing.
do you know what I thought? Like, do you even know? Because myself, I don't know half the words, what anything means half the time for Afrobeats or Amapiano. I just love the music. It's my music. I can claim it, but I don't know all the words. Do you even know the words? Because I think I've been to, where did I go? And it was just so performative. Oh, who's up? I'm not going to say it on camera. Fucking. Yeah, there's a DJ, like, it's just so performative. It's like it's not felt, it's performed. And that's what I can't stand when I see people wearing our culture. Like when Miley Cyrus did it for a second to be her rebellious thought. She went to be a hip hop girl. Katy Perry did it. Iggy Azalea is a whole problem.
God, thank God she's gone.
Thank goodness she's gone.
Do you know what I mean?
And she got ushered in by her.
She's not.
By T.I.
Co-signed.
Co-signed.
Like,
Yeah.
parted ways.
Good.
She hasn't had a good rap since.
No, she hasn't.
Because
She's a mess.
she wasn't real.
Do you know what I mean? It's
And we
just
allowed
like
it. Not we.
No, we did
not.
not.
We.
Yes.
Not we. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The
T.I.
royal we.
allowed it.
T.I. did.
And
You know
the
what I
audience,
mean?
there was an audience
Yeah.
for her.
It's again about what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the most money in it. Let's find a palatable.
Sell out our culture for money.
Absolutely.
Exactly. It's horrible. It's actually horrible. I don't like it.
Can I just
What
say
are you gonna
something?
do about it?
I just want to drink my water in peace, people. I just want to.
No, it helps the environment.
You don't need to do that
Because it
then
keeps
you
the
throw
cat
it all
on.
together.
Exactly.
Rather than having bits. All you need to do is tap. Did you hear that click?
Thank
Did you hear that click?
Farrah. You see, mine's.
I
I've done
want
mine too much.
to know,
But yes.
how does
But
it
the
help
click
the environment?
Because you keep
throw
it
it all together.
What's that
And then
doing?
this doesn't end up on its own somewhere unrecyclable.
Yes.
It's perfect. You just got to hear the click. You can't just do that. Yes, then it's going to be in your face. You've got to.
And then
You hear the click?
You'll never
Hear the click?
use your lid again.
I
You know,
don't
sometimes it drops on the
That
floor. It's not
part
going to
too.
happen.
I actually like.
It's
them.
actually
Thank
great.
you.
So do I. Oh my God.
I mean,
ridiculous
it's
idea. And
annoying.
I would like them to sell two versions.
Oh my
So
God,
we
what
can
waste.
select.
What waste?
Cap can come off.
Do you know how much more stuff is?
attach.
We've had this conversation about freaking recycling. They're talking about this, but what else are they doing to the fucking earth for
That's
real?
fair.
For real.
Well, they need to get
This
rid
is
of
the
the fishing
minor.
nets. We
That's
forgot
fishing nets.
the fishing nets.
I don't even believe this shit.
I don't either, because there's so much more they're doing to destroy us. Are you lots of eating fish fingers?
No.
No.
I haven't had a fish finger in years.
I cannot. Once I knew that your fish finger could have a fish that was killed 10 years ago and one that was 2 weeks. I was literally, I cannot.
I've not had a fish finger in years.
Fish fingers.
Yeah.
don't know.
I love them though. But, yeah.
I know. I've got the fish inside me.
You got what?
He's got a fish finger inside it.
I've got fish finger inside me, bro.
You think it's fish?
I think it's fish.
My enemy of progress. No, you're all right. It's fine. My enemy of progress is a 43-year-old one-hit wonder called Joe Budden.
He's 44 now.
I was just about to say, Joe's birthday's happened. He's
He's a virgin. He's 44.
You're out of order. Which one comes to you?
Him come
Then I've
on.
made it, innit?
Exactly.
Seriously.
No.
Oh my
be
God. Could you
everywhere.
imagine? Come for me, Joe, please. I need the views.
Your aunties could never.
You know what I mean? Okay, Joe Budden, yeah, he's controversial anyway, right? Do you know what I mean? But I take particular issue with him at the moment because he decided to go on an unprovoked rant about Tyla.
Yeah.
Again?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Tyla, 22 years old.
Yep.
Pop singer at the moment, do you know what I mean? Representing South Africa, doing her thing, doing very, very well at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like, and doing it well, actually, you know? He ranted about her on his show recently, although his co-host thought he was dumb in what he's saying. That's a direct quote. He wasn't dumb. But he was cussing basically about Tyla being on the VMAs and she was apparently disrespectful to Usher. because she didn't dance with Usher, and this is his area of contention. So they had this big thing, and everyone was out there. Usher was on. I don't know if it was Tyla's song that came on.
It was.
And they done a bit of a dance, yeah. And she was like, kind of holding his hand, not wanting to dance on him, like her back
grind
on
up,
his
grind.
on his
Yeah,
groin.
you want him like grinding on her.
Yeah, exactly. Like, do you know what I mean? So she kind of swerved that a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Some might call it a pie, depending on where you are in the world. But still, she didn't do it. This, for some reason, is an issue with Joe. Joe's just like, how dare she? This is nasty. He called her nasty. It was just like, are you okay? Mind you, Joe is actually old enough to be her dad. Right? Usher's 45.
Also.
46.
Yes? Is he 46 now?
Let's give him like media. Remember when they would like turn down ages?
Yeah.
So we know Usher is firmly in his 40s somewhere.
100%.
He is in his
He's
40s.
older than me. That's all I know.
He is old enough to be Tyla's father, the same as Joe is.
The same as Joe is, yeah? He's on stage, her song comes on. Usher is recently married as well. He's asking Tyla to dance. What? Not even really asking her, pulling her to dance in front of him. Red flags. Just red flags. What are you doing anyway? Tyla's got a boyfriend. Shouldn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
She didn't want to dance with him. Why has Joe got issue with this?
Yeah, why?
It don't make no sense.
Joe is from that same era
Of
that Diddy era of people who were there. Like, these women are there for us. He is like, look, this young girl cannot. How does she have the tenacity to be advocating for her body? Against Usher, the great Usher. She should be ready to put her bum in front of his little wee-wee. Like, literally, this is what she should do. That's what he has offense with. And then, because she is African, it's also doubled down on she literally is in America. She should be doing the American way, and he should be able to do what he wants with her.
He said that.
That is basically what he was saying.
Yeah, he was saying that she's disrespecting Black American culture. Thankfully, have you finished?
No, but go on.
I was going to say, thankfully,
make it weird.
thankfully, his compadres on the couches were like, "Nah, you got it wrong this time." None of them were like. Everyone was confused. Like, what are you saying, Joe? Why are you going on this thing? And he even went to the extreme of calling her a plant and saying that, like, she basically thinks she's too nice and she's acting too stuck up and privileged. That's a conversation to be had on the side, but it's got nothing to do with disrespecting American culture. Don't make it a cultural thing.
I have seen at Usher's Vegas shows famous black women not want to dance with Usher.
Exactly.
One of them being
Mary
J. Blige.
Yeah, Kimora. Kiki Palmer. Didn't Kiki Palmer get in hell of trouble?
And that's what one of the guys said. Yeah, Kiki got buried.
Kiki actually did that distance thing. Remember, it was what she was wearing. He was like, "You're mom," because of what she was wearing. But she didn't grind up on him like.
But there was also those comments like she did too much.
Dance with Usher.
Yeah,
it's not his God-given right.
It's a choice.
Yeah, must dance with you.
And it's her choice.
Exactly, it's her body, her choice. Do you know what I mean? He then further went into young women's business again. He has no business there.
But he's a bird. That's what he knows.
He is a bird.
He had a little thing, and it was like, "Why are you such a bird?"
He is a bird. He is a bird.
He absolutely is. And like he was talking about, and people in the streets are trying to come for her as well. When she was actually accepting her awards, so because she won Best Afrobeats Artist, right? Do you know what I mean? At the VMAs. It's a VMAs, first of all, yeah? They're never really going to get it right. Let's be real, people. Yeah, they're not going to get it right. But anyway, she won her award, and she asked...
Halle.
No, she didn't actually ask Halle. She asked Lil Nas X to hold the award.
Okay.
That's what she done, yeah? But Halle was there, do you know what I mean? And she was looking like, girl, like, do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then Lil Nas X took it from her. What people don't understand... is that she's recently had back surgery.
Yeah.
She can't handle heavy things. What the fuck is wrong with people? And even if you want someone to hold her, what's the
Also,
it happens.
I have seen
It happens.
and on award shows, I have seen multiple people turn to the person that's giving them the award and say, "Can you just hold that?"
Exactly.
While they get out there.
Yeah.
It's
It's
standard.
not-
And
and
actually,
actually-
there's a podium where she can place.
And that's what
Exactly.
And you would hope that there would have
I was about to say that's down to the VMAs because normally the VMAs has someone that will, either help you up to the
Yes.
all of that stuff. So why did the VMAs not have it set up? They know their Moon Man is heavy,
But she said it.
and she said it.
And she was saying, I have told award shows that I can't carry the award. Before she carried on talking. She literally stated, this is what I've said to people. So she's probably thinking it should have just been shown to me, innit? Like, one, and then it goes. Because I can't carry
I
it.
can't carry it.
I was like, it's just like people are picking on her. Was it
really
Armand that
insensitive.
called her the uppity
It was,
African?
that was the
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, that was
him.
it was
Armand the blogger or whatever his name is. Not Armand the blogger.
yeah, someone else said something as well, and I think Joe was talking about.
Yeah, it was
what that
Armand.
person-
Armand.
It was Armand.
I think
yeah.
Armand is he an artist?
I don't know if he's an artist or he's just an influencer, but he
His-
tweeted
his name
that
looked
he's not
familiar to
feeling
me.
her
No,
kind
it's
of
someone
character.
called Wiggins. I've got here.
I think it's Armand Wiggins. I think
that-
that's what
is
it
that-
is.
Yeah,
okay,
that's it.
maybe.
Armand
Wiggins. Yeah.
Yeah, so then she briefly changed her bio to entitled uppity African.
Yeah, so she should.
I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, me
I
too.
loved
So
it,
she
do you know what
should.
I mean? So, yeah, everyone makes everything weird as Tyler.
I think it's
pointed
just-
out.
I don't
Ever
know why
since-
she's getting this.
It's-
We do know why she's
Yeah.
We
getting
do
it.
know why.
But it's annoying that this girl who just has strength in who she is and is sticking by it is basically being bullied by African Americans. And you guys have to own that. You are bullying her because she knows who she is. Because if she was like quiet, like how Maya was, because they're a very similar statured woman, you'd be like, oh no, she's sweet. She doesn't want to be sweet. She's a woman. She has her own mind. And that's bothering you guys. You got a problem.
And I think she's got a different type of confidence that you maybe not expecting from her, which you don't have to understand her or her culture or anything. And I think it's, for once Mel really spoken. It's like, how can you expect this girl who's become big in her country, her song has traveled somewhere else, and you expect her to know American culture in like 2 seconds? She's only just blown up in that
And
sense.
do you know her
and also
culture?
and that's what she said. Do you know her culture? She said, Mel's from Canada. She said when she came to New York, her acclimatization to New York wasn't immediate. And you just assume that coming from Canada, you'll just come to America and just be like, oh, it's minor, it's easy. It's not easy to come from a whole different country to come into that space. And what culture, what rules are you saying, Joe? Are you saying, so she has to give in to an older man who demands that she dances? She has to hold an award that's too heavy for her. And then she's not allowed to differentiate. Explain to people, because she got told off for not speaking. And I was one who was like, you could have spoken more about the colored situation. But she's explaining, Amapiano is different from Afrobeat. They also had a problem, he had a problem with her explaining that. It's absolutely fair to clarify that actually, and yes, we know that these award shows, they don't get it right. They lump everything together. There was a point when it was world music, when it was black, anything that wasn't from America. So they had there's so much
I saw
things.
something the other day and it was so apt. They were like, saying that Afrobeats is the same as Amapiano is like saying that reggae is the same as soca. It's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
not the same.
Yeah,
It's not the same thing.
exactly.
It's exactly that. And then lumping her where she should just be happy for being misrepresented and not say anything is wild, because then when she goes back home, she's going to have to hear it.
Exactly.
But she
They're
doesn't have
gonna
to go back
for it.
home to hear it because we have the internet.
Yes.
People will tell her now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
How can you stand up there
Exactly.
and say that? and you didn't
Exactly.
defend
You're not
your
representing.
culture? Your
Like she's
culture
not
of where you're
proud
from.
of where she's from.
And she wasn't even
Do you know
rude.
what
She
I
was
mean?
made a very nice statement. Like it is what it is.
They
It
want
wasn't.
her. They want her to be grateful.
Yes.
They want her to be so great. Like, do you know what I mean? Not to say that she's not even, but they want her to act like such a low. Oh my God, you guys.
Thank you for everything.
Literally,
You know?
the epitome of demure.
Yeah.
It's what they want from her. They literally
They
want her to be there.
Seriously.
I can't believe it. I'm just
I think this is-
lowly South African and I managed to get into your country. And
Yeah.
Thank you. That's
Let
how
me
they
come
want
and
her
kiss
to
your
be.
ring. That's what they want.
But this is what happens when you kind of, when the culture opens up, and then you're forced to understand that it's not just, you're not the epitome. Yes, Black Americans, African Americans have contributed so much to the culture that we.
So has everybody else,
But
Black
I'm
man.
just,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yes, there's an appreciation. I can't deny there's been a shaping. My life has been shaped by African American culture. I cannot deny that. But now the world is opening up, and you're seeing other versions of blackness. This is what you have to understand. We don't have to kowtow.
that's my
It's about reaching out that way, not like kissing the
but
ring.
that's my part. It's not like, I'm not saying that they haven't shaped culture. I'm not, but I'm just saying so has every other black race shaped culture in some way, shape, or form. They have. There would be no African Americans without Africans.
Yes.
You know.
There's a clue in the name.
Hello.
Which
You know
they,
what I mean?
some are,
Even
which
that
some are
they're trying to
rejecting.
run away from.
Some people are rejecting that.
Seriously.
But I don't know how.
Okay.
How?
I
Why?
don't even know if they're
Tell
just
me,
loud.
why?
Those
I don't
people
get
are
it.
loud. They're not necessarily the
They're
majority.
saying that
just
Yeah,
there
they're
was
not the majority. You're right.
there was
It's not the
this,
majority, I'm saying
this
there's some,
black
there's some.
Yeah, I
indigenous
know,
set
but
of
it's
people.
just
They're not
there's two
indigenous.
fractures. They're like there's a black indigenous,
indigenous.
people. That's what they're saying. They were black like me, and they were indigenous in America.
Yeah.
And then you had the Africans that came along, but there was a whole set
They're not
of
indigenous.
black people that was
They're not
indigenous. and they were there.
indigenous. They are not I rebuke that. They're
I don't
not
know that
indigenous.
history. I don't know that part. If there was,
How can they
with
say
the
they're
Americans,
indigenous?
I don't know the full American history. I know what I know of the history is that the indigenous people were Native Americans, or Native Americans.
Indigenous.
They're indigenous. Well,
They
Right? Well, I know, but I don't know if
They're
there was no.
The
I don't-
phenotype of the indigenous people that we see are like
native.
they're kind of they are a mix of Polynesian kind of
Yes.
Asian.
So,
Yeah.
Look,
yes.
they are saying they're there,
And
yeah,
there were black
but
people there.
also. There are lots of
So
black
they're trying
people,
to-
and they're saying,
But
I am
I've not seen
indigenous.
that history.
No,
I
they
can't
might-
refute
they
it.
might be,
I can't
yeah,
refute that. I don't
but
know.
It doesn't negate that
The
there was
African
a
yeah.
massive grab of African people
Definitely, there's that.
suffered and came to the country.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And that those people can some of them at least can trace their lines back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And
That
it
kind of
just
thing.
feels like
So
there
it's
is a
just-
set of them
Yeah.
who have decided, I don't want that African history.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm now claiming America as my indigenous
Yeah.
land. That's how
Yeah.
it feels from
You
my
know what,
side.
to be
I'm like,
fair-
where did
They're
you
not
guys come from?
to be
No,
fair,
but I don't know
to
that
be
history. I'd like
they've
it to be
been-
explained.
You know, do you know what I mean? It's a very unique situation to be in, do you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, kind of thing, and you can have different ways of looking at it. What I just don't like is like, just to bring it back to Tyla, it's just that she is African, she's proud of
She
it,
knows.
Yeah.
but the negative rhetoric that's coming at her is just unfair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because of some of it stems from like trying to distance yourself from the African.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It is
and it's
that.
just like, how
It's not
dare
stems
you
from-
be
it
this
is-
proud
it's
African
it's
and
absolutely
be in this
that.
position?
And it's
like, do you know what I mean?
And it's so
Like,
stupid because those are the things that were put in place to make us hate each other.
Yes.
Those were the things that, like, they fed that into Americans and they fed that into Caribbeans. Like, don't like this place. You don't want to go there. Hate that person. Hate yourself. Hate what you represent. And it's so dumb that in this 2024, that's why they dislike this chick because she's proud of where she comes from.
it's crazy.
What the hell? That's you. That's a representation of you, whether you like it or not.
Exactly.
It's the
You're
lazy.
You're
You're connected.
Before you was
Cha.
anything else, you was
And you're not
African.
indigenous.
I don't know.
I know
that
the
history.
history.
Not all of them.
They're
I
not
can't argue. I don't know.
They're not indigenous.
Do you know that every single black person
So
from
you're
America?
trying to tell me black people
I
are
don't-
indigenous to America?
No,
They're
no,
not
wait,
indigenous to America.
wait.
I call bullshit on
Wait. All I'm saying is that I don't know personally that every single
that.
there
That's just
was a
taken
no.
away. That is taken away.
No,
And this-
let me finish what I'm saying.
All right, go on.
I'm just saying. All I'm just saying is that what has been said is that apparently, alongside the indigenous Native Americans, there were a set of black people. I've never heard this before. If someone's saying that and they can prove it, I can't
The
disparage
indigenous
that.
people of the Americas do not say that, and the indigenous
Okay.
people of America need to be represented and need to be held
Yeah, I
up and need
understand
to
that
be
for sure.
protected.
I'm not disputing
And it's like
that.
every single time. It's like they tried to say the Vikings were there first. No, but have you not heard that?
Vikings,
They
yeah.
have. They tried to say that.
Well, the
that-
Spanish
They tried to
tried
say
to-
that Anglo-Saxons were there. They've tried to say
The
these
white,
things.
yeah, white people.
Like it
That's
is-
white
like,
people
that's
saying
it.
that. Is it white people saying that? No, you said they. We're talking about black people. Is it white people saying that?
What my point is this, right? Those people are indigenous to those parts of the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let them have their shit in it. That's where they're indigenous too. Don't try to you're trying to distance yourself from Africa so much. It burns you that you're African so much that you're gonna come and say you're indigenous.
No, I
You're not
get all of that.
I've never heard that.
That's
There's
what I'm saying, I've
black
never heard it.
There's no
It's-
black
it's-
indigenous
Well, am I the first
people.
person saying this?
There
Yeah,
are
I've
no
not
black indigenous people
I've
in the
never
Caribbean.
heard.
No, I've
any-
heard that.
think
No,
the
I've heard that
foundational black people
before,
are.
and I've heard that, and also in the Caribbeans as well. But the thing is, I'm just like, I'm just like, yes, that may be true
Mm-hmm.
because at one point the world was all the landmass was together and people used to walk across it.
Yeah.
So
Very
it's,
much so.
it's possible. But what I'm saying is that you cannot ignore
Yeah,
impact
and that's
of
all I'm saying.
thousands
I agree.
of people. Do you know what
Millions.
I mean? Like the millions of people over hundreds of years.
Yes,
like,
that,
do you know
that
what I mean?
part
Like,
I will never
that
dispute.
you can
Yeah.
never to say that is your main source is a bit disingenuous to
Because you want to
this whole
distance
situation.
yourself
Do you know what I
from
mean? Like,
Africa.
I think yes, exactly.
That's
because
what it is.
feeds into where it becomes dangerous because it feeds into that
Xenophobia.
self-hatred.
It does. And
No, it does.
Just
No,
to
it
go,
is.
Just to go back to
Yeah.
that very clearly as well, the Europeans want to make out like they were
course, I
also
know that
indigenous
much. Yeah,
to
absolutely.
the Americans, yeah,
Exactly.
So that it dispels this thing of colonization.
Yeah.
That's why they're about that.
Yeah.
And so that they don't have to give the Native Americans their due respect.
Of
their
course.
rights.
I get all of that.
The
I'm
black
just saying.
people who say that they are indigenous to America, they are like America is ours in the same way that as they were formerly known as the Native Americans, that phenotype, that they have land, they are like, we also should have land because you've lumped us in that we came with slavery when we didn't. This
then
is
where
our
were
land
they?
as well. They have their whole movement. That's why you have ADOS. That's why you have FBA. That is literally what they stand on, is that we are indigenous to America.
That's
didn't
all
come
I was
from
just trying to clarify.
I
If
mean,
that's there,
I think
we can
that's
have our
absolutely
argument.
fine.
I wanna see the
You know what I
scientific
mean?
facts.
Like,
Yes.
technically,
That's what I'm saying.
we're all from Africa anyway. Do you
That
know what I mean?
part.
So each way you want to look at it, you're going to trace it back to the mother.
Yeah, whichever
know what I
way.
mean?
Whatever
You've
we
got
skin a
the
cat,
motherland.
whatever way
Yeah.
you skin a cat. But I'm just like conscious of if someone I don't know this, and it's the first time I'm hearing.
I've yet
that.
to-
I've heard. I definitely say I have heard them. Like the ADOS people are like, listen, we're descendants of slaves, so this is our land. But I've never actually heard of about.
I've heard that.
That's
I
it.
have
That's
heard
it.
that
And that's all I'm saying.
And I've heard the
in
Europeans try to make that out as well. I've heard that part, yeah. I've never heard black people say that they're indigenous. I just haven't heard that.
And that's all I wanted to be
haven't-
clear
and
about,
I watch a lot
yeah.
of things and I haven't seen any documentaries
Me neither.
stating that either. I haven't. I've seen documentaries where the Anglos or the Europeans want to go and have DNA testing on this, that, and the other to prove that they were. I've seen that stuff and I've seen it dispelled. I've never seen it the other way around.
I
So that's
guess, like,
interesting.
you know, obviously a lot of our history has been destroyed.
Exactly,
A lot of our,
exactly.
You know, it's been rewritten. We weren't necessarily the authers of the
Exactly.
book.
That's
that
very
people
true.
Yeah.
learn from and all that kind of stuff. So there's so much we don't know
Exactly.
at the same time. So I'm definitely not ruling it out. But this
Like you
massive
said,
thing,
the source,
also
the main
happens.
source,
Yes.
is not from
Yeah, we
that.
know, and I think
Like,
we know that
the
part. It
main
was
work
just
is
that
not
bit.
from
I
that.
Yeah,
like. Let's be
that's what I'm
clear.
saying, yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's
Clear.
move on. Let's move on because God damn it,
You gotta-
leave Tyler alone. Just leave her alone.
Leave her
Yes,
alone, man.
exactly, man. Stop messing
And
with
look,
her.
we've been keep saying it. You've made it because people hate you.
I mean, she's huge, isn't it?
Yes, she's pop star.
It's just she's very young. She doesn't
Just
need
leave
the
her
head.
alone.
Only 22. She's a baby.
She doesn't.
She's
She doesn't
a
need the head.
She
baby.
doesn't think Joe. Anyway,
And
She doesn't
all
need
this-
a big hardback man like Joe.
No.
No, not
Talking
this.
about
Calling her
you-
she's
you-
a plant.
Grind-
You should be
grind on that
dancing
old
with this.
man.
Yeah.
That is gross.
He was
It's
so
disgusting.
angry. He was actually angry. He was
Yeah.
angry.
Joe's son is older than her. Joe's son is 25
baby.
years old. Like, it's actually gross that he was even
And what he
going on
doesn't
like that.
understand is like these things that you're saying about her like could form the rest of her life and her opinions about how she thinks and she feels about herself. It's not fair.
Guys,
Yeah.
what do you think? You've been looking at schools recently. Would you go to school, look at schools with a bonnet and a house dress on?
What, to look at schools?
Yeah.
Or go pick up my youth from school?
Either way, what would you do? How do you feel about bonnets at the school gate and like maybe slippers and pajamas and stuff like that?
I actually hate that shit. I actually am thoroughly disgusted. There's one woman
Thoroughly disgusting.
thoroughly
bro.
disgusted. I would always like, I'd just look at her like I could gob in your face.
Oh,
Disgusting. She would come out in
No.
her nightie and slippers, no bra, and literally
Okay.
walk down the street and drop her child. And this is the thing, we used to have to walk into the school, so you got to
do
walk
you remember
round,
that?
walk in, and you're just seeing her
Yeah, boobies were flinging.
and then leave again. And it's like, you know, she's going straight into her house and probably jumping into her bed with that, all of that
And
same
you
shit.
felt-
It was disgusting. I was disgusted
So
by
you wanted
it.
to go to her? on her?
Literally was like, you disgust me.
wow.
Well,
Horrible.
I
it's
think
the worst thing.
Esther O, aka Wakanda, Life is This, Life is This, yes, took to the socials to share a PSA to specifically address single black women.
How you present yourself to other parents really does matter, because there's some parents in there that are well connected, they got good jobs, and they always know what's going on at school. And if you present yourself well, they'll associate with you and tell you what's going on. But some of you come down to the school so ratchet, so loud, so ignorant that even the decent parents that can teach you how to advocate and tell you what's going on in the school, they don't want to be associated with you because you come down with your helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shod with the gospel of peace, and embarrass your whole family. That person has reputation. They're not trying to be associated with you. Those of you that are high functioning, wear a suit. Wear a shirt and tie, wear a nice office dress. Make sure you have a watch on so you can let them know, I'm about that business, baby. If you're going to a school meeting, never, never, never. If you're a single black mum like me, if you're a young, dumb, single black mum, hey, that's me now. That's what I was. Okay, I wasn't dumb, but I was young and they assumed I was dumb. You need to wear full business attire. Never go to a school meeting by yourself. Show up with a man. If you're a single mum and you're black, let me just stop you right there. I need you to do this. Just do this. Yeah? I don't have kids of school age. I woke up early this morning and God put it on my heart to come on this live again and talk about what I talked about last night. A lot of the disrespect and bullying that your children are going through is how you've represented yourself. You are your child's lawyer. You. If you don't advocate for your child properly and show up properly, the school will now start picking of your child. They'll pick on your child. Because the truth is, if it's okay for your child's school, please don't bother with that nice shirt. Go to your next job interview, your next important interview that a lot's riding on it. Put on your helmet of salvation. Put on your breastplate of righteousness. And shod your feet with the gospel of peace. And go there. See if you get the job. See if they let you in the building. See if you get past reception.
She took to her socials to address us single black women. Do not, it is a warning, do not go to the school with your bonnet, what do you call it, a cap of salvation, and your breastplate of something. Do not, yes, do not go to the gates with your cap of salvation because the teachers will judge your child and judge you, and then your child's school life is forever scorned and judged, and they will not proceed or prosper in the school. If you turn up at the gates looking like some house girl, you're on her side.
I'm 100% on her
Specifically, single black mothers. She didn't say married black mothers. She didn't say white mothers. She didn't say white single mothers. She said black single
maybe she's
mothers.
advocating for her community. I personally have not seen a black person do this. But I concur. I agree with her.
It's a strong message. It's a very strong and direct message. Is she Nigerian by any chance?
Esther O.
Okay.
I don't know. She could.
She
you know what? Actually, she could
she
be.
might be
I feel like she is.
I think so. I made the assumption she was.
Don't.
I did as well, actually, but I don't actually know what her surname is.
Yeah.
But I heard her because she did the Africanisms.
fine.
I just figured she was Nigerian.
But yeah. You know what? To be fair, doesn't really bother me. When I used to take like nieces and nephews to school, do you know what I mean? You see that. Not I wouldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't actually really bother me because I feel like mums have such a hard time anyway. So it's just like, if that's the best you could do today or best you could do this week, or like sometimes like you have to give yourself a round of applause for getting out of bed. Do you know what I mean? Like, so like I feel like give them a break, man. It's only dropping off your kids. It's fine. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't bother me. There's one woman, she does that. It doesn't bother me. But what I will say is the angle of other kids seeing your mum like that and then maybe teasing the kid. That part, I didn't think of it until you started talking about it. Then I'm like, yeah, that I wouldn't like that. But it does. If I see them, it don't bother me. Sometimes I've got a headscarf on. I'm not in my pajamas and slippers, but I might have my headscarf on.
For me, I don't like the addressing of the single black woman, and then it's that whole single black mum, and it's the whole kind of they're going to treat you because I really want to do away with this 10 times better, how they view you. It's a little bit of that. I definitely think that you should think about your child's experience in school. My more thing is like, I don't want my child to be teased and taken a piss and say, oh, your mum looks like a tramp. I don't want none of that in the schoolyard for my child. I also don't leave the house without washing. So it's never, ever going to be a thing for me unless there's an emergency. My something's got to go on where we were bombed out the house or something. But for me to leave my house without having washed my underneath and my privates, whatever thing, I'm not going to do that. So that's never going to be my thing. I can wear a headscarf. If I wear a bonnet, I might wear a bonnet too. So I'm not going to look unkempt. And I do think there are times when And I'm an on-time person, so that usually wouldn't even be my issue anyway. So I will be ready to take my child to school. However, there is a level of like, okay, so like this woman, I wouldn't want to hug to on her, but I would be like, oh shit, man, why are your tits swinging on in your nighty? There's
You
no
know what? You don't
certain
know
things
what
that,
you're
but we
going
don't.
through.
But also that,
through.
but also that. I mean, I'm a human. I'm gonna jump. Be like, oh my god, I might call you. Be like, oh fuck.
How you looked at the woman at
Yeah.
Castle.
Wow. Wow. Oh my god. It came back to haunt me. I mean, it was 2 inches above the thing, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was nice to her, and I didn't come to the
But you were
socials.
secretly judging.
No, but I didn't come to the socials to come and.
She wasn't serious.
I told.
That's what the woman said to her.
No. She might have read something on my face. I was shocked. It was surprising. I didn't scorn her, and I was also nice to her. I was nice to her. However, I didn't take to socials to come and say every black mother should not wear skin out clothes to carnival when they're walking with their child. I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did take to socials to say that, though.
I didn't.
You came on this platform.
No, I didn't say.
Something about.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say.
I did not
words.
say
Came
that.
on
You
this
said
platform
stuff.
I did not
and
say
said,
that.
Stuff was said.
Signs.
I did not say that.
And we had a conversation.
I did not
Run the tape. Run the
say
You did.
that.
You came on this same platform and you said your piece
Have my real.
about slash.
And I said it shocked.
She was with her child.
I did not absolutely. Anyway, let's go.
I do think.
Let's go back to Esther O.
Esther, she was joking.
She was
She
playing.
was making jokes. She was making jokes. There was seriousness in it in terms of what she's saying. But I hear where she's coming from. I don't necessarily agree with the delivery, and it's a bit hurtful. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit harsh. But I agree. I understand where she's coming from, because you could argue that, you know, single black mothers are the most unsupported.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Especially at that time. So, you know, she's thinking like, what is the best opportunity for your child? She understands that teachers are human and they're judgmental and they discriminate and they will make up stories about your home life. Do you know what I mean? And they will not be understanding and they will take it out on your child.
Yeah.
And you're not with them during those hours. So I understand where she's coming from.
I do understand where she's coming
She ain't
from.
lying. It's the absolute truth. I've been in, literally, I always say to people, what you think is being said in the staff rooms is probably 10 times worse. How they talk about kids is horrible. So don't give people a reason to target your child. Like, they are going to see the mum and they are going to talk about her in the staff room.
Yeah.
And that is going to affect how people look after your kid.
100%.
It's absolutely, she ain't lying. It's the truth. If you think you can just walk around, you can't walk around in life doing what you want, let alone you're taking them to an institution and you're thinking, oh, they're not going to judge me. They absolutely are. And they will. They'll judge for less. Don't give them a reason to. Like, really.
I don't like it. But
it hit me in my chest. I mean, I never did it. So I was like, okay, not me. But it was a bit like, and I just heard the single black mothers and it was like in big red lights in my eyes. It was like, okay, there's a lot. Well, leave us. Look, we're always under attack. So it felt a bit much.
I get it, but she was trying to be helpful. Guys, don't attack her. She was trying to help.
She should have just said mothers.
There's that too, because we would have got it. We would have heard it, because it's quite, unless it's a new epidemic or pandemic that's happening.
But I think
maybe it's something
because they are so undersupported. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think I get it. I get why.
I'm just saying, is there more? Is it happening more? Are you seeing more black?
The woman that I see is not single.
Is she black?
She's black, but she's not single.
Whoa, that's another thing.
Because some days I see him. Some days I see the dad.
Is he in his pajamas too?
What does that mean?
What do you mean? You don't want to give too much away.
Exactly. I can't say too much, innit?
I get
People know who I'm talking about. I must be careful.
Be like, hi.
You was on your podcast.
Exactly. So, you know,
but then also a PSA in it.
Don't death and they come
that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
when they start to hate us, we made it.
I'm good.
No, actually, I think I might have a moment of be like, oh my god, we've done it.
We made it.
And then
we'll do our apology.
Yeah.
What will our apology be, guys?
I just wanted to get
Guys.
I just wanted to get. What did I learn from Nicole? Nicole was like, I'm sorry for my part in this. That's what I'm going to start with.
I don't need to be a part of this apology.
I know you're not gonna
No,
apologize.
I'm just
That's
gonna
fine.
be quiet.
Yeah.
So
I'll go like this.
I will.
You'll be Fuhad then.
I will sit pensively, sad
I
face.
feel like doing this.
And then
make
what
sure-
are you gonna say?
Get my good side.
You can't do sideways because people
Or
are
do you
gonna
want
know.
like
You gotta
Tifa
do-
Savage, where you have to put the bonnet, no makeup?
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bonnet
Yeah.
on.
Look
like,
really
you just,
a little bit tired.
Like you just woke
Little
up,
bit
like you're
tired.
so pained.
You couldn't even sleep.
Yeah, like
No,
I
no,
can't
no.
even focus on
can't.
beauty right now because
Who,
so
who can
sorry.
cry on demand?
I can.
Good girl. You can just have a tear roll down your face.
I can't.
Like Pyro.
I gotta care though, because realistically, I'm probably gonna be like, let's tell him to fuck off. Like, so
Drugged out screaming.
What would I apologise for?
I ain't
If
apologising for
truly offended someone, I don't
would.
know. I don't feel like I go that far. I think I've got an internal.
I'm sorry that you felt that way.
Yeah, that's, I mean,
yeah, but then you know they're
people
gonna
will see
tear
through
up
that.
shreds, innit?
She doesn't really tore me to shreds.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, look at these
I feel like
different guys.
the numbers are
I'll be
numbering.
like, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Next week, let's do it again.
Let's wear our bonnets and our dress shoes and our house
Now
dresses.
someone's gonna clip this when
I
we
know,
truly are sorry, and I'm gonna be like,
I know, you
no,
see,
no,
We're
no,
prophesizing.
sorry.
We're actually speaking this into existence. Remove it. It's okay.
The truth is, I'm
just
probably
jokes.
not sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
Nana,
that's a lot
It depends
you
on-
can't speak.
I
for
don't think that's
future
true.
Nana.
I don't think
You
that's
can't.
Yeah,
speak
you're not
for
that
You're
wicked.
not that person.
What are we going to say that
What
is
do you
going
mean?
to?
She's not that bad.
No, but like to not ever be sorry. No, but to not ever be
that part when you want to come for me. Clip that part. She knows me.
To not ever be sorry. She's
No, I think there's obviously we don't know what it is. Let's not find it out.
She's a
I can
human.
see Nana's done great work here.
human.
No, but I mean, she's a human
I'm a
or
human
not.
guy.
You're an alien. Your head.
Please.
Goodbye, guys.
Hurry up.
Peace out. AK down.